I'm here with one of the biggest superstars of the 21st century, Mr. Edward Christopher Sheeran.
What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
Does anyone still call you that these days, other than your
my parents
Yeah.
called me Edward. They have a clear separation between Ed and Edward because everyone refers to me as Ed to them, but they know me as. I think they call me that in their mind to be like, there's two different people basically.
Okay, so
I think they find it a bit strange sometimes.
Yeah, okay. So it isn't then like back in the days that they used to call you Edward when they were angry?
No, they've never called me Ed.
Oh, no?
Ever, no. I was Ed at school because I was Teddy originally.
Yeah.
Which is why it's Teddy's photos. And then a kid joined school and was called Teddy. And then there was another Edward, so then I became Ed. So to them, I've always been Edward, but at school, it was just... It happened.
You've been away for some time. You became a father, and for the last year, you've had a record-breaking year in terms of chart success, especially in the UK and England. And now you're back with the words we so much like to hear. You're going to do a new tour.
Yeah. I'm actually happy that there's demand for, not just for me. I think if it was Coldplay putting on a tour or U2 or whoever, I'd be like, oh, cool, gigs are getting back on. Like, people want to go to concerts. In England, everyone was watching this festival called Reading Festival because they announced it, and then the whole live music industry was like, if this goes well, we're going to be able to do shows. Like, I hope this goes well. And then the festival happened and it was a great success. And then, I mean, that was why we ended up putting our tour on sale, because I had it all booked, but big gigs, they just haven't happened for 18 months, and I didn't know whether people actually wanted to go to concerts.
They do.
Yeah,
they do. They can't wait.
Do.
And it's your first tour with a full-size band, right?
Well, it might not be.
It might not be.
It might not be, no.
Oh, okay.
It might not be.
Something changed?
There's going to be... Well, I just think... My rationale, I had a long chat with Johnny McDade, who I'm a main collaborator with, and he saw me with a band and he was just like, why are you changing it? Like, Coldplay haven't changed their lineup in 20 years. U2 haven't changed their lineup in 35, 40 years. Like, why would you change the loop pedal? That's why people come to your shows. Have you ever not sold out a show? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, the moment people stop buying tickets is the moment that you should worry. So I think the show... I don't want to do a full loop pedal show. I don't think it's just going to be exactly the same as Divide, but there's definitely, that will be like 80, 90% of it, and then there will be elements that are different.
But you had done some practice with a band, right?
Yeah, and I like being with a band, but I feel quite stiff with a band because I'm not used to having click and the song being like 3 minutes 30. Like, my idea of a song is just like, I start playing, and if I want to sing the chorus 4 times, I'll sing the chorus 4 times. If I want to cut out and get the crowd to sing this bit, I'll get that to happen. I find bands quite rigid.
I think the places of inspiration for this album are pretty clear to most people. You became a father, you got married, went through the loss of a friend. Is there a song on the album that we haven't heard yet that's your favorite one?
I think the opening song is the most powerful because it just sums up everything that's on the album, I guess. And it's like the chorus is completely a cappella, whereas the verse is like stadium rock. It's a very much chaos and calm song. I think that's my favorite song. It's called Tides. And
is that also the song you're looking forward to play live the most?
No, I think the one, do you know what? I had a taste of it in Paris. I played the Global Citizen in Paris and I played Bad Habits, and that's fun live. That's fun. Nothing can beat a hit where people can dance to. I was saying this earlier in an interview. Perfect in thinking. No, I'd say Perfect is probably my biggest selling song. Mm-hmm. Or maybe it's Shape of You. Perfect seems to be overtaking Shape of You at the moment in terms of sales worldwide, and I think it's because it's weddings and it's first dates and it's blah blah blah. But you play Perfect and people just go, oh, that's a nice song. Whereas you play Bad Habits and people are jumping up and down and they're properly going for it, and nothing beats that at a gig, like the energy.
How many songs were on the initial list for this album?
Lots. I'd say I whittled it down to about 30 from a lot, and then it was 16, and then I found out you couldn't do a one vinyl with 16 tracks, so I chopped 2 songs off because I wanted it to be able to just be one thing that you listen and then you flip and then you listen and then you flip.
And where do you put those songs, the songs that don't make the album? Where do you put them in your head? Where do they stay?
Well, I'm hoping I'm going to repackage this album for tour. I'm hoping I did it for Multiply, and it just gave life to so many songs that would have been forgotten about. So yeah, I've got songs that I mean, one of the songs was like the main single. It was like the big hit single, but it just didn't fit on the record thematically. Like the theme of it just didn't. The record started just being about real life shit and being a dad and losing a friend and getting married and having a kind of quarter life crisis. And this song sort of stuck out of, it was just a hit, but it didn't really do anything in the album track listing. But I know it's like going to be a big song, so I'm going to put that song out probably next summer. And then that'll exist on a repackage, I think.
Now, there's a lot of rumor going on the internet about the next album, which is supposed to come out after Equals. It's supposed to be called Minus or Subtract. How many songs of the list that didn't get to this album?
Well, my rule
will come on the next one.
My rule, and I was given this advice on it was my first tour of my first record. And I had all these songs that didn't make the first album. And I was like, this is the second album. And I remember someone at my record company being like, don't do that. That's the mistake that everyone makes. Everyone comes out with their first album, it's massive. And then they just make a second album off with the offcuts of the first album. And then it just isn't big. So make a second album. So my rule is I never, ever would make a record out of the songs that didn't make the last record. So while I was making Equals, I was making the next record. It's probably only 10 or 11 songs, and they're like perfect acoustic songs, and they were written in tandem. There's actually a song on this record called First Times that was originally meant to be on the other one. Yeah. But yeah, so that will come. Do you know what? That will come when I feel like Equals has lost its energy. Because I feel like Equals will have a lot of energy for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to intentionally mute it.
You've done some work for other artists recently. For BTS, you did a song for BTS. You made a hit for Rita Ora, for Justin Bieber. How is the process? Is there a difference in the process when making music for someone else as opposed to making music for yourself?
I think you were a lot more free with someone else, because I think like a band like BTS could really do anything they wanted, anything. So you've got this kind of blank canvas of writing songs that could be any genre and anywhere. And also like writing with BTS, it's fun to actually write a song in English and then get it translated into, I did a song with them called Make It Right, and then have it translated into Korean, and then suddenly it's a completely new thing, and it's really fun to do. And again, Justin Bieber's sort of genreless. He can kind of do whatever he wants. And I think by doing Where Are You Now with Skrillex and Diplo, that opened him up to a whole other world. So he, I had Love Yourself for him, which I guess is kind of in my wheelhouse. But then I also was able to write Cold Water for him and Major Lazer, which was kind of in their wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of in a sweet spot of being able to do what you want in terms of songwriting. We're
looking forward very much to the Johan Cruijff Arena. You'll be playing a show there next year. There's just something I want to say, and I hope you don't. I hope I don't insult you by saying this, but I went to see your show in 2018 in the Johan Cruijff Arena, and I just want to say you got to get the sound right, man, because like the Johan Cruijff Arena is like one big echo chamber, and I hope you're not insulted by this. So I think what is going to be different about this tour that will help it out is it's central. It's in the round. So the speakers will be around the stage. So it will be a more centralized sound. I think sometimes and it's a shame you say that, because my sound engineer like really does try hard to make it. But yeah, sometimes when you're end on, the speakers go here and then they bounce back and they bounce back. Whereas if you're in the center, it's more of I think it will be better. Well, I hope so, and I don't mean to insult your sound guys.
No.
Because I know they work hard, but
it's constructive criticism. Man. It's good to know. It's good to know these things, and I am seeing him later, and I will just mention that. Cool, stuff like that is never insulting.
One last question, by the way: how many giant marble penises did you make? Because you seem to be giving them out to everybody. Sam Smith, Elton John.
Sam Smith is the only one with a 6-foot marble penis coming.
Elton John was a little bit...
Well, Sam came to my house and we went in the pub and they saw my penis. I had a few penises made for Elton, and Sam just said, can you make me one that's life size? And I was like, yes, absolutely. But the guy that makes them, he's a really talented stonemason. He made me a chessboard, and my best friend works for him, and he made me a chessboard, and I said, can you make something for Elton? And I was like, Elton loves anything big and outrageous. So I was just like, just make a massive penis. But he made like erect ones, flaccid ones, like, so his whole work yard is just full of these penises. And now on Friday nights, he gets all the stonemasons together, they get pissed, and they carve penises.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a job that is.
The 6 foot ones.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how expensive it was though when I ordered, because it's a singular piece of marble. it's very over the top. But
Wow.
Sam's going to love it.
Thank you so much, Ed Sheeran. Good luck with the tour. Equals is coming out the 29th of October. And we'll be seeing you next year in Amsterdam. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Ed
Nice one.
Sheeran.
Thank you.